I used to read Hornblower novels when I was young and watch Cockleshell Heroes and all these films about the North Sea convoys. I was interested, first of all, in the fact that a ship had gone to the Antarctic for 4 years in 1839. Erebus had gone further south than any other ship had been before. It circumnavigated the Antarctic, brought back an enormous amount of information. Then to find that it had been the flagship of the Franklin expedition. The Greenwich Royal Naval Hospital has, for my money, the finest of all the Franklin memorials. It shows the hopeful start and the tragic end, and I think this says it all. I felt someone ought to tell this particular story, link it all together, and the one link is the ship itself. On the evening news on the 9th of September 2014, I saw an item that stopped me in my tracks. At a press conference in Ottawa, the Prime Minister of Canada announced to the world that a Canadian underwater archaeology team had discovered what they believed to be HMS Erebus. Her hull was virtually intact, its contents preserved by the ice. From the moment I heard that, I knew there was a story to be told. Not just a story of life and death, but a story of life and death and a sort of resurrection. I was as interested by what it was built with, where it was built, the brief time she spent in the Mediterranean, as I was with all the great voyages after, because I knew the great voyages were going to be a good story to tell. But I wanted to make sure it was just, he kept bringing it back to this vessel, how it survived. I had access to a lot of good diaries and letters of people who had been either on the ship or connected with people on the ship. For me, it was really, really important to get characters into the story. You've got a perfect time in history to explore the world. You had the ships, plenty of trained seamen and captains and officers around. It was a great time to do their best work. And in one case they did. I think the Antarctic voyage was an extraordinary piece of work. But then flew a little too near the sun, and that was the worst disaster in British naval history. What really happened to the Erebus? What was she like? What did she achieve? How did she survive so much, only to disappear so mysteriously? I'm not a naval historian, but I have a sense of history. I'm not a seafarer, but I'm drawn to the sea. With only the light of my own enthusiasm to guide me, I wondered where on earth I should start such an adventure.